Yeah, it's usually quiet over here, so it is shocking to hear that someone got robbed.
Police are investigating a string of robberies this weekend at a gas and convenience stores, and they're asking the public for help in solving the crimes. Good evening, I'm Chris Arnold. Thanks for joining us. Officers are looking into whether or not there could be a connection between the robberies. Police say they have several robberies, but they've released this photo of one robbery at the Quick Shop this morning, just around 12:55 in the 1600 block of East Lincoln. That suspect indicated he had a gun and got away with cash. Wichita police continue to investigate a South Wichita shooting that left one man with a gunshot wound to his face. It happened around 6:40 last night on the 1600 block of South Martinson near Harry and Seneca. According to police, the suspect, a 40-year-old male, drove to the house and got into an argument with a 32-year-old female. Officers say the argument went outside to the alley behind the house, and they say when the neighbors tried to get to the woman away from the man in the argument, one person opened fire. The victim was hit in the face and taken to the hospital in serious condition. Police say the suspect was taken into custody a short time later. In Washington tonight, President Trump is still not letting go of a fight with a Florida congresswoman after she criticized his words of condolences to a military widow. This as Democratic and Republican lawmakers work on a tax reform bill and possibly a compromise on health care. NBC's Jennifer Johnson has more.
President Trump Sunday again going after Florida Congresswoman Frederica Wilson after a week-long war of words over what Mr. Trump said to a grieving military widow. The president tweeting, "Wacky Congresswoman Wilson is the gift that keeps on giving for the Republican Party. A disaster for Dems."
The House is back in session on Monday. Now in Ohio, a police officer was shot and killed last night while responding to a domestic dispute. It happened in the city of Girard, Ohio, in the northeast part of the state. Police say the officers were just walking up to the door of the home when the suspect opened fire. Officers shot back, hitting and killing the suspect. The 31-year-old police officer, Justin Leo, died later during surgery at a local hospital.
It just seemed totally unprovoked. They weren't trying to get into a house. They weren't trying to make their way in. Just out of nowhere, gunshots rang out.
Girard police officers say Officer Leo had been with the police department for the last 5 years. In Northern California, more residents are allowed to return to what is left of their homes. Authorities say many residents spent the day picking through ash and rubble looking for anything that can be saved. More than 8,000 homes and businesses were destroyed by wildfires, the worst of it in Sonoma County, where resident David Gregory said he only found a few scattered keepsakes after the fires.
I was far away, so we put together this box before, and she said, "You get the kids, the legacy box, and our computers and our pictures." And that's all we got.
At least 42 people died in those wildfires, and they're still doing damage estimates in some of the areas. Now it's confirmed a tornado hit a casino just south of Norma, Oklahoma yesterday. Take a look at this. It's video from an Oklahoma City TV station at the front of the Riverwind Casino last night. You can see the pair's vehicle being pelted by hail and debris. They were very close to power lines that came crashing down in front of them. The Riverwind Casino was hosting a concert Saturday night, headlined by the Beach Boys, and concertgoers, including Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin, were evacuated into a shelter because there was fear the roof could collapse. The casino did have damages, but so far, no reports of any injuries. In news across Kansas tonight, a research project at Fort Riley could be shut down if more soldiers don't sign up. The program looks at the connection between soldiers and mild traumatic brain injuries. Researchers have only had 3 people sign up, but they need 100 to make it a go. The study requires soldiers to complete some type of physical activity 2 to 3 times a week. And one researcher with the study says some of the research could help those suffering brain injuries with symptoms like anxiety and thoughts of suicide. Long-term effects have been linked to Alzheimer's disease, and they're hoping more people will sign up.
I think it would be in our best interest to really inform everyone on Fort Riley that this is available to them. And the reason being, some of these guys or girls don't report that they have a concussion or a mild traumatic brain injury. And if they don't report it, we won't have access to them.
Researchers have now extended the limits of the study to allow soldiers to have the option of rowing or even walking for the physical part of the study group. In western Kansas, a rollover crash has killed 1 person in Ford County. The Highway Patrol says the crash was just before 12:30 this morning in the area of Highways 56 and 400 near Dodge City. Officers say one driver was speeding on Highway 400 and went into a spin after passing another vehicle. Troopers say the motorist overcorrected, hitting a culvert, and then rolled several times. The driver of that car was pronounced dead at the scene. Nobody else was hurt. Coming up on KSN News at 5, looking for love in Mulvane, Italian style. We introduce you to a real culinary treat in Main Street, Kansas next.
You're watching KSN News at 5.